5 years ago, Wahid Ibrahim completed his undergraduate studies in agricultural science, and like majority of his peers, he expected to secure employment soon after graduating.
I graduated with a bachelor's degree half a decade ago. I've never been employed. I don't have a payslip. I even went further and got another degree, a master's degree. Still, I don't have that payslip from this government, this country or whatever, the employer. So what we do, we have to think outside the box and create opportunities for ourselves. So as you say, we have to do with what we have to start with the knowledge that we've gotten from school. We should stop thinking like seeking the job, but we should be job creators.
Contributing to this dilemma is the fact that fewer and fewer youth are pursuing careers in agriculture.
One thing is that those farmers, they are the ones who encourage their children to go out of agriculture, because they are used to seeing agriculture as a dirty business. You know, you have digging in the soil all the time and planting yourself, no mechanization, no subsidized. So it's a problem. But what we realize is that if you now think of agriculture as a business that can generate income, a business that can really make big leaders, as we saw here, that can change the whole paradigms around agriculture.
Agriculture does not hold the same appeal as white-collar employment, particularly when it comes to earning potential. However, industry experts say that this rather unfashionable profession may be the solution to part of Kenya's youth unemployment problem.
The missing gap that I see critically that needs to be addressed is the strategic partnership between the research, the academia, and the private sector. And that missing gap is not about knowledge acquisition. It's about providing practical solutions that can make the farmer in Africa produce, add value, and maximize the profit. So once that is done, then the private sector is able to create a critical role in investing in agriculture because they have got practical solutions from the academia.
Formation of youth groups is an avenue which can be utilized to help them achieve production economies of scale and easier access to markets.
The current situation, especially in the rural areas, there's a big challenge of accessing markets, especially good markets for their produce, because first of all there is poor infrastructure in the rural areas. Therefore you could be having a lot of agricultural produce, but you cannot access the urban market because of the poor infrastructure, the road network. Secondly, it's because the youth are incapacitated in terms of funds. The lack of funds is an impediment to the realization of good markets.
We need to build strongly on association of farmer producers, association of farmer organizations, because farmers alone, they cannot manage, because first they don't have the education needed, and they don't have the support needed. And to get the support, you have to be strong. And you see, when you take big lobbying companies, big lobbying organizations like the simple one, Greenpeace, you see how they can, what they can achieve by just putting pressure. We have to empower our farmers so that they are also capable of putting pressure on the academicians, putting pressure on the government, and putting pressure on the researchers.
Another key challenge has, however, been access to finance for youth-owned agribusinesses.
We are aware that agriculture is a sector that is vulnerable in terms of season, change of climate. But how long should we take to turn around this? Is it an issue that we have known today? It's the issue that has been there for ages and ages. So the same way we turn around other innovations, the same way we come up with different innovation models, business models, there is a need for the governments, there is need for development practitioners, there is need for financial institutions in Africa and all over the world to look at models, develop models that are able to provide incentives and environment upon which somebody investing in agriculture can benefit.
On the other hand, the education curriculum needs to be remodeled away from being too technical to being practical and as a solution to addressing job creation.
I was looking at some article in Costa Rica. They have a very good model whereby when students are in college, they're also having hands-on experience with agribusiness and the private sector. So this private sector and education linkage, I think, is the best awakening call for this country and maybe for Africa. The students need to have hands-on. Like the industries should be incorporating students occasionally into their curricula, into their operations, just to have hands-on. As they finish, they'll be able to create their own.
I mean, I just say, all I need is P and Q.
The already drenched job market is indicative of the direction stakeholders in education, agriculture and the private sector should be undertaking in addressing unemployment, with more than 100,000 graduates entering this space annually.